of all your respective characters, for our readers who might not know, what is your favorite trait about your own character?
It's a man.
My favorite trait, I think, about Cherry Bomb is just that she's unabashedly herself. So she doesn't care what people think. She just does what she wants, and she's loyal. And if you have a problem, then your problem, right? And she doesn't really care. So I like that, and it also reminds me not to care so much about what people think.
I love Valentino's fashion sense. He's like so over the top, and like,
And in fact, that gives me inspiration to like, you know what? Who cares? Just dress however the fuck you want to dress.
I mean, his name is Valentino, so.
There's a lot wrong with Box, but I really do appreciate his showmanship.
I like that Alistair's a sassy bitch. But I relate.
Get out there.
As you should do. Okay. After that, so of all the scenes you've had to move forward, which one was the most fun? Whether it was just like really chaotically fun or just really easy, but got to go home early. But
I think I'm sure which episode it is. I think it's episode 2. Where Valentino is leaving a string of voicemails to Angel Dust. It's just Angel Dust is like going through all his voicemails. That was so fun. That was like my first day of recording.
Oh, was it?
So it's fun to be like, they were just like, all right, now just go as extreme as you want with each of these. So that was a fun. It was both fun to record, and it was also fun to be in an environment where they're encouraging me to make bold choices, to make this character my own, and it's kind of set the tone for the rest of the recording.
I was going to say, like, I love that scene so much because it says so much about both of your characters in that moment. And to think that so much of that was created by just you in that moment is really fucking cool. Like, I love that.
well, on the flip side of that, what scene actually took the longest or was maybe the most difficult? More laps.
I was saying in our panel, I think some of the hardest stuff that I've had is when I have to sing, and then when I have to, we are all constantly juggling. Like, we try to sing at the top of the session so that we can get that out of the way, so that then we can, most of us are yelling and swearing and using like difficult voices. So I think for me, it's about pacing myself as far as like how much of Cherry Bomb's voice I can use before I sort of have to take a break and reset.
I feel the most like a fraud when we have to do what's called efforts. Because you're putting your faith in the animators who have an idea of what. So if you're doing a fight scene, they just for a while ask you to do like. See, even now I feel like a fraud. So like, but that is the great leap of faith that you take.
Very precious. I just wondered about that, especially in like shows and video games. Like, did the voice actors just sit there like grungy to like?
100%.
Richard does a great job. He tells us like, okay, let's do a low energy one, let's do a medium energy one, let's do a higher energy one. So you have different kind of flavors of each. Like, you're punching someone, now you're really punching them, now you're really, really punching them out. So you sort of go,
And then you're rewinding up and punching.
As an actor too, I've never minded the line reading. So when Richard gives me like, it's like just do it like this, I'm like, great.
honestly same.
Comes something strange.
It is both.
Okay. It also requires like an intense imagination, because at least when you're doing stuff on camera, you're doing stuff on stage, there's an environment that you're in, and there's a set, and there's costume, and there's your scene partner. Whereas voice work is just all in your mind. So it requires a lot of like, at least for me, or a lot of like intense visualization so that I don't feel as stupid as I probably look.
And I want to see some of those videos, and that's doing effort days.
If you take the sound out of it, I do things with my body when I'm recording voice that I don't even recognize. Why are my hands up here while I'm doing that? It's very random.
So you have this imaginary friend beating you up.
Yeah, exactly. That's really it.
But of your characters, how much of your own interpretation do you inject into them, or are you strictly by the book? This is how it should be.
I think is what's been cool about, now recording past season 1 is that we all, season 1 and your first episode is always very much like, okay, I'm here, I had to make this voice, and then you kind of stick with what you do and you get guided by the team. I think as the seasons have progressed, we all have gotten to know our characters better. And so I feel like every time I'm in the booth, I'm more and more comfortable as Cherry Bomb because I feel like I know her now. But they're pretty good with us. We get to like be flexible in how we feel it should be, or how we want to say something, or how we want to interpret something. It's a pretty like collaborative space in the booth with this team in particular, which I think is a gift. Not all teams are necessarily like that, not in a bad way, but this feels flexible, which is cool.
We were recording a scene that I can't really say what it was, but it was something that Vox had never done in the show, an activity. And I was like, I kind of want to take I want to go 180 to what people think Vox might sound like doing this thing, just to maybe be a little vulnerable. And they were totally game for it. They let me do it, and they were like, okay, now do it the other way.
They want options.
Yes, go. I think it varies. Like at least with Valentino, I know Viv knew what he looked like, but didn't entirely know what he sounded like. I think it's just that was sort of open to interpretation. That was something that came as we recorded the first episode. Even like him speaking Spanish and having that. That's just something I brought to the role. That Viv was like, "Oh, I like that. Let's keep that." And I improvise a bit in the show and stuff that I thought wasn't going to get animated, but then gets animated. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. So it is, and it's not every role is that way, but I think Val in particular is one that they're very game to just be like, yeah, bring whatever you want to it. And they sort of trust my instincts.
Yeah, I mean, going off of that, since you guys say, you can have your own spit on it on occasion, is there anything that might have changed, drastically from the beginning to final production?
The only thing that has changed for me is, well, besides like an appreciation of how fun it is and what a great sort of family we have and how lucky we are to do this, is a sense of responsibility to the character and the fans, knowing what the show means to people. I think, when I first did it, I was like, they had told me this is based on a popular YouTube, which means fuck all to me. Do you know what I'm saying? And then to understand, like, no, this show holds a very special place in some people's hearts. It changes the way you approach it. You know what I mean? It's less like, let's get in the booth and have some fun, but also like, let's know how this is impacting people. All right.
Can I just, when you first kind of got offered the scripts of this, what were your impressions of it? Because it is this sort of mad mix of like musical theatre and of comedy, and yeah, it's a weird kind of bunch of things mashed together. So what were your first impressions when you got the script for it?
Yeah.
What is this?
Oh, I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. I feel like I spent the first, honestly, almost decade of my musical theater Broadway career doing rock musicals, and the musicals that sort of, rocked the boat a little bit in New York. So I was used to that. That's sort of how I started my career. So it was really cool to see an animated show go in the direction that I feel like I theatrically had gone for so long, which was cool. So I was like, this was made for me. That's how I felt when I got the script, really.
This whole experience has, I know people use this word, to me, always incorrectly. Like when people are winning an Oscar, they say, I'm so humbled. Like, you're not humbled, you just won the Oscar. Like, okay. But to me, the show has been humbling because I came at it from like I'll just do this thing. Like, oh, this is cute. And now I understand what Viv's vision is and what it means to people, and now what it means to me. So I go in now with a completely different attitude of like, I really want to get this right. I have my own thoughts about it. So it's just changed 180 from this little lark into something that has brought us together to friggin' London.
What a gift.
Yeah.
Do you all record together or do you yeah, that sucks. So it's quite nice being together.
Nice.
Have you ever done live table reads or any of that sort of?
I wish we would do a live reading of an episode.
I spoke to the Rick and Morty guys yesterday, and they got to do a live table read for the first time. So it's the first time they're all like doing it together in one.
Our cast is so huge. Like there's so like the cast is, and some people live in LA, some people live in New York. So it's really logistical feat to like get everyone together.
Yeah, that would be
It
cool.
would be really.
It was really hard getting like 9 of us together for a concert on day. Yeah, so I can't imagine. Yeah, it'd be tough.
But they should do that thing like what they do with the big shows, like their final episode. They read the final episode together. That's where they, before anyone else reads it. Well, it'd be special. Whenever that ends, and they're like,
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll tell them now. She can start playing.
How much how much freedom do you get with playing around with stuff? Is it because you're recording separately? Is it like really locked down, or do you get to play around and stuff?
No, we got a lot of freedom in the booth, and we always do what the script says. Like, there's never a moment that I don't have recordings of, they have recorded everything, but they let us go for runs now. We can, like, oh, can I try this on this line? And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, that's what's fun about watching the show for us, is when we see it, there are things that make it or don't make it that we would never know until we watch it. And I think, again, the more we know our characters, the easier it is to improv as them, the easier it is to be like, actually, I feel like she'd say it like this, maybe. And it's cool that they let us do that. So I feel like there's a lot of freedom for us.
It really depends on the character too. I think that for like Adam and Valentino, they'll actually tell the actors, hey, in this section, go crazy and have some fun. I never get told that. But I do have like the permission, as Krystina was saying, to always say, hey, can I try this one line this way? I have a thought. Do you know what I mean? But that's not exactly improvisation, right? That's more so, just for take.
Yeah, sometimes my scripts will say like, angry Spanish.
We get inspired by watching and listening to each other. Like for me, watching and listening to Jeremy Jordan as Lucifer, I was like, oh, he's so loose. Dark. And that's his kind of like niche. That's his part of the show. So it's not up to Vox to have that energy, but I did feel a little more liberated after listening to everybody. I have a little more fun.
Yes.
We are, of course, at a Comic Con. Have you seen any cosplays of any of your characters? It's wild. Anything really sort of stood out for you in terms of the fan interaction stuff?
I mean, just the character designs in the show are insane. So the fact that people even like attempt to do these cosplays is so impressive, and they're so dedicated. It's wild.
And I think what's mind-blowing about being here is that, we experience this all the time in the States, but to be in a different country with different people, and that it's kind of, it's oddly the same but different, of course, but there are as many cosplayers and people that love the show here than in the States, and you forget how global the thing is. So I think that's been really magical about being here, is I was like, damn, this is real here too.
I'm used to seeing Alistair cosplays at this point, but what's novel is an Alistair cosplayer who speaks Polish, Swedish, and it's just like, whoa, the reach is
very cool.
Speaking of the language thing, have you obviously you're the English language cast. Presumably there are casts for the other language. Have you met any of those at maybe conventions or stuff? Or?
You haven't met that. Some is like the Spanish language. Valentino has reached out to me on social media, and like I'll just sometimes for fun we'll watch episodes and like switch the languages.
To do that, it seems
like the Japanese version. It's so cool. It's just like, oh my god, wow, this is.
I mean, I fall asleep already every night watching Hazbin Hotel, so no idea. So you're doing it.
great. I've connected with the Italians on social media, but no, never in person.
I would love to one day. That'd be so fun.
Okay, 5-minute cool-on questions. You'll be wrapping up in 5. Actually, I had one interesting one. If you guys were in the writer's room for a day, what would you do?
I'd be like, wait, tell me everything. Because they keep a lot of the secrets close to their chest. I mean, there's a lot of like, so it's as an actor, you sometimes have to like make up, like I kind of assume maybe where my character, like where these choices are coming from, but I actually don't have like canon knowledge of certain things. So and that's partially, I think, just to like keep a secret. Who knows if we accidentally spoils. Hey, where's the Bible? Can I read it? I want to know all the secrets.
I just want to hear their process. I mean, we're friends with a lot of the writers, which is really cool. So we got to watch a piece of season 2 with some of our animators and writers. a month ago, and it was really cool to watch them watch their work because, my God, like we're in the booth for an hour or so doing an episode or hours, and they're working on the season for years, so they have so much more time with it, and so their perspective is really cool because they've watched my scenes more than I've ever even thought about my scenes, so it's pretty cool to have time with them. But if I was in the writer's room, I'd just be like this. What do they talk about? How do they decide this stuff?
And I'd write a scene where all of the people who I hate on Earth go down to hell and are tortured.
And that list starts with
I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing.
So if you could have your characters visit one other animated like world for a sort of Hazbin Hotel crossover with something, what world would you pick?
another animated universe. Ooh, Arcane. Oh, good looking. This is this okay. That's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Not just animated thing, but one of the best stories I've seen in a long time. It's a bird bucks to get sucked into that bill.
I want Valentino to hang out with all the like Disney villains, like
And Cruella DeVille and like Maleficent and Ursula. Oh, come on.
terrible. They're horrible. Just causing havoc.
Yeah, maybe like cartoon version of like I always think Cherry Bomb would be best friends with Harley Quinn. Like, so some version of that would be very cool.
I feel like the Care Bears would be easiest. They'd just make deals and you'd kind of own this army of bands.
They're so cute. Of course, those
Lots of different powers and that.
It's like your version of the Egg Boys. So gotta
But I mean, I had a really easy one. If your characters had like a podcast or a talk show, what would it be about?
God. Oh, it would be Valentino and Velvet, like talking about fashion. Just like every red carpet, just like talking about everybody's looks and reading them to Phil.
Good region.
I would watch that too.
I feel like it would be Cherry and Angel like gossiping about everybody and being like, "Who's hot? Vivi's hot.
Who's hot? You're Cherry and Angel.
Yeah, who's hot? Love it. Who's hot? Who's ugly? Would Cherry?
I mean, I think it would just be sort of about himself. It'd be like one of those awful male podcasters who just wondering fucking mods.
A glimpse at the list, I see. It would be just like a gentle, like cozy hour about discussing global domination. Oh, she wrote.
Local domination.
Nice.
Lovely. I 100% need that now.